My name is Edith McAllister. I was born in Madisonville, Texas in 1918. When I became the first woman in the United States of America to chair a United Way campaign for the city. Well, that was just a big deal. And of course now women are doing everything and doing it well, and I will not say sometimes better than their gentlemen co-parts, but it was that I had it was easy because that was the way my mind worked. And as I say, I didn't want to sit and play cards, and so that being able to, or being invited to, or being considered for roles in the community that had never been taken by a woman was a wonderful role for me to fulfill and to do the very best that had been done, because I didn't want to be the first and only the first woman and then screw it all up. I think it was to create the Southwest School of Art. It has become the only four-year degree-granting art school in the state of Texas, which is a wonderful factor for the city of San Antonio. Well, I had such a wonderful friend who had some funding and some ideas, but had absolutely no idea about how to put them together and make them useful information, and how to spend what money we had, all of which was sort of what I was good at, was figuring out how to spend the money, what was the best thing to spend it on, how to create the things that we wanted to create. For example, a four-year art school in San Antonio, Texas, and things of that sort that were, it took a different kind of talent from other things, so that if I could put all that together, having lived with a family that was public-spirited and used to doing something on a community basis, all of that was very helpful. Well, I did it because it was, one, it was fun, and two, when it came to the Southwest School of Art and the craft, what we called the Craft Center, that was deep and close to my heart, and it was something that I thought we should have in the city of San Antonio, and if I had some way to create it, then I was lucky to have that ability and place in the community to be able to do that. So that was a great pleasure to me personally, and I think it was, I hope it was also a real service to the community. And of course, having married into Walter McAllister Sr.'s family, whose whole life was committed to the city of San Antonio, and we have so much so many things in San Antonio that we wouldn't have had if it hadn't been for Walter Sr. That was a big incentive, was to carry on and to be equal to the opportunities that were given to me. I was married to my one love, who had been my boyfriend, quote, end of quote, in high school. I was actually a year ahead of him. Even though he was a little older than I was ahead of him because I'd gotten there a little faster than he did. But we were in the same classes, and a lot of them, and he knew all the people I knew, and it was a very happy relationship in high school. My family was happy, and I think the McAllister family was happy. It was different for me because they were a whole lot more public than my father. My father was a school teacher at San Antonio College. He taught whatever it was he taught at San Antonio College. So that we were not in the public eye the way the McAllisters were, but I not only got used to it, I kind of liked it. I loved all of my late husband's family, and especially his mother and his father, and I got along very well with Walter Sr., who approved of the fact that I made good grades, that I could keep a conversation going, and anyhow, we liked each other from the very start, and that was helpful, and for me, very educational, to have to sort of keep up and do my share, and know enough to keep a conversation going with a man like Walter McAllister. Took some doing. Well, he was a very sweet man, and he was fond of his family. He was very fond of his family. He had one daughter and two sons, and he really liked girls, which was not unusual, and he liked me because somehow he scared everybody, because he was very quick to speak and very quick to correct you if he thought you were wrong, and especially if you were his junior. But he didn't scare me. He was a very handsome man, and I liked him, and we got along fine. My wonderful new family, the women in that family liked to play cards and go to teas and things that were considered a wonderful life for women. They bored me to death. And I did not want to sit and play cards all day and wonder what in the world my children were doing. I wanted to do something that at least took my mind off the fact that I was doing something besides rearing my children. And so it just sort of, one step at a time, became my life. Oh, that's a very easy one. One is exercise. Two is, and exercise means health. And the ability to exercise means being able to keep going for more than just 6 or 8 hours, to keep going through a whole 24-hour day with doing something and getting your 7 hours of sleep. So and for me that was fun. I swam every morning. Every morning when we heated the country club swimming pool, I started swimming not only just in the summertime, but all year long. And so at 7 o'clock in the morning or earlier, depending on what my day started like, I was in the club pool swimming laps. I think water skiing was the only really interesting activity, because just going over to the club pool and swimming back and forth is not really too interesting. But for me to be able to ski from Port Aransas all the way to Aransas Pass was great fun. And I was pretty pleased and proud of that, to be able to stay on a single ski for like 15, 20, 30 minutes was took some doing. Well, I would say that the best moments of my life were probably giving birth to 4 children. That's the most incredible thing that anyone can possibly do, is to create another human being. And you don't do it alone. You've got to have that male help. But still, when the chips are down and that child is on the way, there ain't anybody there helping you. You got to do it. Well, of course, my favorite activity that I've had such fun with all my life is dancing. And my father, we had a Victrola in our household, and I would play the dance music. And I think we still may have those records, and they may be extremely valuable at this point. But my daddy found me dancing around to the dance music, and he taught me to dance when I was probably 7 or 8 years old, so that I could follow my father, then I could follow anybody. I think that one of the most interesting things that has happened is the role that now our valuable Mexican population has taken in all the aspects of life, not only just as in the medical field, in the political field, but all of the things that we now expect and appreciate. To start with is my father-in-law, who was right there behind me all the time, and with, not only behind me, but with me. I think that the acceptance of the leading gentlemen in the community was a big factor in getting a lot of what we did, what we have done in my lifetime, getting it done. They were delighted. So many well-known gentlemen were so delighted that here I was, willing to do what they should be doing, but didn't really have time because they were running big businesses. They just didn't have that kind of time. And here I am with the time and the effort and the ability to work with those gentlemen and not confuse the issue by being female. Well, I think the best thing, because what everyone seems to want is to be happy, regardless of, and what causes happiness in people is a long list and a wide range of thought, idea, activity. And I think that if you just do what keeps you going and makes you happy and gives you the feeling of having not only created but accomplished something, that nothing will make you happier than feeling as if you have not wasted your time, wasted your life, which is time is all you've got to give to this life, and feel as if you have maybe created something that will continue, that will make other people, if they could follow that ethic makes them a whole lot happier people that feel as if they have done their share in this old world, instead of just taking, but being able to give is such a wonderful change from just selfishly doing your own thing all the time.